আর মাত্র কিছুক্ষণ সময় পরে বিশ্বকাপ খেলা শুরু হয়ে যাবে। লাইভটা দেখতে সম্পূর্ণভাবে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখুন। যারা যারা সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখবেন তারা কোনো টেনশন ছাড়াই সম্পূর্ণ লাইভ ভিডিওটি দেখতে পারবেন আমাদের চ্যানেলেই। আর্জেন্টিনা বনাম ইজিপ্ট। আজকের খেলা আর্জেন্টিনা বনাম ইজিপ্টের রাউন্ড অফ 16 আজ রাত 10টার দিকে সরাসরি আমাদের চ্যানেলেই দেখতে পারবেন। তো যারা যারা সরাসরি আমাদের চ্যানেলে যুক্ত আছেন, যারা যারা এখনো সাবস্ক্রাইব করেননি তারা সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখুন খেলা দেখার জন্য। আজ রাত 10টার দিকে আমাদের চ্যানেল থেকে সরাসরি লাইভ কাউন্ট করা হবে। যারা যারা খেলা দেখে আগ্রহী আছেন কোনো ঝামেলা ছাড়া লাইভে যুক্ত থাকতে পারেন। আজকের ম্যাচে কে জিততে পারে বা কে বিজয় হতে পারে, আপনাদের মতে কে হতে পারে? আজকের বিজয় কে হতে পারে? দেখি কার টিমে কত লোক। আজকে কি আর্জেন্টিনা হেরে বাসায় চলে যাবে? আপনাদের মতামত কি কমেন্টে জানান ভাই। নেইমার জুনিয়র, ক্রিস্টিয়ানো রোনালদোর মতো কি আজকে মেসি বাসায় চলে যাবে? আপনাদের মতামত কমেন্টে জানান। La 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 la. যারা যারা লাইভে যুক্ত আছেন, যারা যারা খেলা দেখতে আগ্রহ আছেন লাইভে থাকেন, সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখেন। আজকে রাত 10টার দিকে আমাদের লাইভটি সরাসরি প্রচার করা হবে আমাদের চ্যানেলে। যারা যারা যুক্ত আছেন তারা তারা সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখতে পারেন। কোনো ঝামেলা ছাড়াই আমাদের চ্যানেল থেকে সম্পূর্ণ লাইভ ভিডিওটি পেতে চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখুন। আমরা অতি শীঘ্রই আমাদের কাঙ্ক্ষিত সংগ্রহ করা ভিডিওগুলো বা লাইভের মাধ্যমে সম্প্রচার করব। আপনাদের কোন দলটি আজকে ফাইনালে যেতে পারে বা বিশ্বকাপে টিকে থাকতে পারে অবশ্যই কমেন্টে জানাতে থাকুন। আজকে কি মেসি পারবে? ফিফা ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ 2026-এ টিকে থাকতে, নাকি পারবে না? আজকে টান টান উত্তেজনার মাধ্যমে খেলাগুলো সম্পূর্ণ লাইভ আপনাদের মাঝে শো করাতে চলেছি আমি। কারেন্ট দিতে হবে। যারা যারা লাইভে যুক্ত আছেন সবাই লাইভটি লাইক করে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখুন। 10টার সময় আমাদের লাইভটি চালু করা হবে। আমাদের কাঙ্ক্ষিত প্লেয়ার মেসি মেসি নাকি? যারা যারা লাইভে আছেন অবশ্যই একটু ওয়েট করুন 10টা পর্যন্ত। কমেন্টে বলতে থাকেন আপনারা কিভাবে কি কোন দল সাপোর্ট করেন, আজকে কোন দল উইনার হতে পারে, সবার কমেন্ট করা হবে। আপনার দল কি আজকে উইনার হতে পারবে? আপনার মতামত অবশ্যই কমেন্টে জানান। মেসি কি পারবে আজকে টিকে থাকতে, নাকি পারবে না? লাইভটি শেয়ার করে দিন আপনার বন্ধুদের মাঝে। আজকে কোন দল উইনার হবে? কোন দল উইনার হবে? আর্জেন্টিনা কি পারবে? কোন দল উইনার হবে? আর্জেন্টিনা কি পারবে?
هلا
লাইভে আছেন ধরো বুঝুন, ফোন দিতে পারবো না, লাইভে আছি।
They do give up ball, don't they? They give up chances to opposition, and
খেলা শুরু হয়ে গেছে, খেলা শুরু হয়ে গেছে।
Welcome to our live coverage from the magnificent stadium in downtown Atlanta as the defending world champions Argentina go head-to-head with Egypt, the seven-time champions of Africa. Well, as you can gather, the weather isn't going to be a factor here today. The roof is closed. The temperature is perfect for football. It's a glorious and increasingly hot day in Georgia, outside as well. Well, the city of Atlanta is the economic and cultural hub of the South, said to be the city in a forest. It's renowned for its pivotal role in the civil rights movement, as well as being a major hub for film production, music, and home to some major global brands. Host of the Olympic Games in 1996, it's where we find the Braves in baseball, the Hawks in the NBA, and today's stadium is the home of the Falcons in the NFL and the MLS side, Atlanta United. A city very much on the up, experiencing notable population and corporate growth. Well, wherever Argentina are playing, their fans follow in great numbers. Today, no different, as they've headed up from Miami, the scene of their tough and long night against Cabo Verde in the round of 32. They were in a party mood at Underground Atlanta last night, even if the locals weren't, following the USA's defeat to Belgium. This is new ground for Egypt at the World Cup. Those fans there, though, from Argentina know all about this sort of situation. It's only the second knockout game that Egypt have ever played at the tournament. Historically, one of the big names in African football. They will be hoping to see their team become only the fifth African nation to reach the last day. Well, there's the man so many have come to see. So far, he's been as outstanding as ever. Egypt have their own global superstar in Mohamed Salah, who's one short of the country's national goal-scoring record. This is the route to the stage where we are now. They were one of three teams to win all group matches, Argentina. Cabo Verde, though, pushed them all the way in the round of 32, taking the game to extra time in an instant World Cup classic. What about Egypt? They were picked to top spot in Group G by Belgium after two draws and a 3-1 win over New Zealand. Their first ever knockout game at the finals went all the way, beating Australia on penalties following a 1-1 draw. Well, the atmosphere is building rather nicely here, and alongside me in the commentary position in the stadium is Australia's most capped player and former World Cup goalkeeper, Mark Schwarzer. Mark, Argentina, I think, must have been as relieved as they were pleased to get away from Miami with the win against Cabo Verde the other night.
Oh, absolutely. They had to be very relieved. That was a very tough encounter for them, one that I think they thought after taking the lead that maybe they'd be a little bit more comfortable in that evening. However, we've seen it as World Cup already. Teams like Cabo Verde have surprised the world. They've pushed the teams like Argentina in that particular game, and they've come away from that Argentina knowing that there's going to be a real fight on their hands to get to another World Cup final.
Was it a timely wake-up call, perhaps?
I think so. And if you look at the lineups today, I think there are changes, and I think that is also as a result of that performance against Cabo Verde in their last round. As a result of that performance against Cabo Verde in their last round,
Australia here today.
I can't. This is a must for them. Obviously, they've got quality, there's no doubt about it. Obviously, a lot rests on Mo Salah and what he can do, how much he can contribute to this Egypt side, which he's done already in this World Cup. And today is the big challenge for this entire team.
Yeah, we saw a flag a little bit earlier which said two greats, one match, Salah and Messi. Obviously, there's more to it than that. But how did Egypt approach this one as the underdog in this game?
Well, first and foremost, goes without saying, they're going to have to be very well organised, very compact. They've got to obviously work themselves almost into the ground at times, because Argentina are going to be relentless. But what they will know is that as they watch the previous game when Argentina came up against Cabo Verde, you've got to be brave as well. You've got to be prepared to get numbers forward, to push Argentina, and they can be broken. There are gaps, there are opportunities to score goals, but you're going to have to be brave and adventurous.
Players gathering down below us in the bowels of the stadium. It's an interesting entrance they'll make. We were down there yesterday having a look.
Yeah, it is, and then it comes sort of in between a whole lot of supporters, VIP rooms, and it's one that the players certainly wouldn't have experienced too often in their careers. It's a little bit different, but it also adds to this World Cup feeling of being on the world stage, being the centre of attention for this 90 plus minutes, and if it goes to extra times and penalties, and you're playing, as Egypt, they're playing one of the best teams in the world, the reigning world champions in Argentina.
Would you say that Egypt over the years perhaps have underperformed a little bit on the world stage? They are one of the great old, footballing nations of Africa.
Possibly. I'm not really sure. If we talk about personnel, I don't think they've really been to the level that they are today for some time. So I believe that they are now where they are because they deserve to be, and they've got the quality. This is the time they need to deliver. They need to make the most of having some special talent in their squad.
You saw a nice greeting there. Pre-match just a few moments ago between Mo Salah and Alexis McAllister, of course, for so long teammates with Liverpool at Anfield. It's almost time for the players to appear as Mo Salah leads them through that final holding area before they enter the cauldron of colour and noise that is this indoor stadium as it is today here. Everyone keen to capture the moment. Memories of a lifetime for those youngsters there. Greeting some of the best players in the world before they head out for this momentous game. Will it be an historic day for Egypt, or will Argentina march into the quarterfinals? Well, Argentina survived a nail-biting night in Miami to keep their hopes of defending the World Cup alive. Cabo Verde gave them quite a fright, leaving the South Americans relieved to get over the line. We'll find out today whether it was a wake-up call. Egypt were the first African team to ever play at the finals as long ago as 1934, but it's only now they're threatening to leave a notable mark on the global stage to go with their proud continental record. Penalties were needed to see off Australia in their first ever knockout match. They may need to go all the way to get past the round of 16. Well, up to 75,000 pairs of eyes in the stadium, a good percentage of the entire world watching this now. And as always, many focusing on Argentina's number 10, Lionel Messi, who continues to be at his talismanic and brilliant best here. 7 goals at this World Cup to make for a total of 20. Egypt have an iconic player too. So long, so brilliant for Liverpool as well as the national team. Mohamed Salah scored in their win over New Zealand and will look to lead them to an historic victory today. Atlanta's downtown stadium is ready for this lunchtime kickoff, and the anthems will be next.
Argentina. national anthem of Egypt.
Survived a fright at the hands of Cabo Verde in the round of 32. Argentina's quest for back-to-back World Cups is still on track. Egypt aiming for a first ever quarter-final place.
অনলাইনে গেমের নামে অবৈধ জুয়া খেলছেন, দিলে দিলে সব হারাবেন। অবৈধ জুয়া খেলবেন না, হবে জেল, জরিমানা। It's really hot today. Enjoy double flavor polar ice lolly.
Polar, মন ভালো থাক।
ফাইনাল লাইভ দেখার সুযোগ।
ফুড প্যান্ডাতে আমাদের মিশন আপনার জীবনকে আরো
New Mazda CX-5.
The Euro 24 final between Spain and England, as well as this year's Europa League final in Istanbul between Aston Villa and Freiburg. And the team in the VAR room, led by the Frenchman Jérôme Brissard. Scaloni makes 3 changes to Argentina's starting 11. Nicolas Tagliafico is in at left back for Facundo Medina, who went off with cramp the other day. Leandro Paredes starts in midfield. Julian Alvarez up front in place of Thiago Almada and Lautaro Martinez. Lionel Messi has scored in every match so far. That's 7 goals in 4 games. And he equals Miroslav Klose's record for appearances in the knockout stages today with his 14. Egypt make a couple of changes from the Australia game in the round of 32. Midfielder Mohamed Lashin returns from a 1-match suspension for yellow cards. There's a first competitive international start for Aysem Hassan, Omar Marmoush and Hamdi Fatih brought to the bench. Mohamed Salah starts today 1 goal shy of equaling Egypt's all-time scoring record of 69, held by the current coach, Hossam Hassan. He scored once and created 16 chances so far at this summer's tournament. Well, we're almost ready to go here, Mark. It's a fantastic setting, a wonderful atmosphere, and it's going to be very interesting to see whether Argentina get back in the groove that maybe they were knocked out of a little bit by Cabo Verde the other day.
Yeah, well, I think the conditions will play a big part. We saw that in Miami. It's so hot. The conditions so humid, and I think that really did affect Argentina and their momentum, their intensity in the match. This game, I think, will be played at a higher tempo. The conditions inside, obviously, this wonderful stadium are very controlled, and it's perfect to play football. So I think we'll see a far better and more intense performance from Argentina, and it's whether or not Egypt can go with them, whether they can keep up with the pace and the ability of this Argentina side.
Well, the match countdown is on. Lunchtime in Atlanta, a place in the last 8 of the FIFA World Cup at stake, and it's the defending champions Argentina kicking from left to right in the first half here against Egypt. Only one previous senior meeting between these two nations before. Argentina 2-0 winners in Cairo a few years ago now, back in March of 2008. Maybe an early opportunity for Argentina to advance. Player down over on the far side of the field, which will bring play to an early halt here.
Enzo Fernandez, I think it's coming together of knees as he goes with the challenge. Yeah, we can see that. That's definitely going to hurt. You can see why he's gone down. It's a pretty robust challenge.
Yeah, painful one there for Enzo Fernandez. Sergio Aguero on the left-hand side of your picture. I mentioned that Argentina had won the only previous match against Egypt in 2008, and Aguero scored one of the goals that day. He's among many famous footballing sons of Argentina inside the building today for this one, as you would expect. Touch for Emiliano Martinez and Christian Romero. Romero, who thought he'd scored what was the winning goal against Cabo Verde, it turned out to be an own goal, deflecting in off defender Dine Borges. The chase is on for Alvarez. Scored 4 goals at the last World Cup, yet to get off the mark in this one. McAllister surging forward. Plenty of red shirts, quick to get back behind the ball. Rodrigo de Paul, who's been based in the United States since the winter transfer window, having moved to Miami to play with Lionel Messi at club level. Flores in the heart of the midfield. The 4 main midfield players for Argentina haven't played together very often in the past. I think it's only the 3rd or 4th time that they've lined up together, though one of those occasions was the semi-final 4 years ago. McAllister into Messi.
Yeah, Paredes is looking like he's going to be that deep holding midfield player just in front of the back 4, and then you have the 3 in front of him then, and De Paul, McAllister and Fernandez. So they're setting up with obviously a lot of attacking options, but just that extra little bit of cover in front of that front 4, and I think mostly to try and deal with any balls into Mo Salah's feet.
Yeah, second start of this World Cup for Leandro Paredes of Boca Juniors these days. Just over 150 appearances in Serie A in Italy, mostly with Roma, and a PSG player as well. Way off the boot of Mustafa Shubir, collected by Hafez. Egypt just looking for an opportunity to get the foot on the ball a little bit here and settle down.
Which is going to be tough, because you can see there with Argentina already looking to be on that front foot, close down the space, not allowing Egypt too much time at the back to play out.
It's Lachine, back in the team today, served his ban in the last match against Australia, having picked up 2 yellow cards in the group stage. First touch for Imam Ashur, who is in momentary discomfort. He could be a key player for Egypt today. Ashur, their number 8, gave them the lead against Belgium in the opening match, and also last time out against Australia. So 2 goals for him.
Yeah, I thought he was one of the better players in the last game against Australia. Scored a very good header at the far post. Got a lot of pace and not afraid to take players on, and that's what I think Egypt are going to be as a whole. They're going to be a team that has no fear. Yes, respect Argentina, but have the ability to take them on, have the bravery to do so.
They were on to Mo Salah like a flash there, weren't they?
understandably. You want to be, you don't want to give him too much space. You don't want to allow him to have time to turn on the ball and run at you. The pace that he possesses, he's a real handful.
Yeah, isn't he just? That's Atea, and off the boot of Rami Rabia, collected by Ibrahim, who sends it away to the far side. Marwan Atea. Affairs making the run, and Rodrigo de Paul, excellent defensive work from him, but Egypt just settling a little bit now, seeing a bit more of the ball. There's Ashore, of whom we were just talking, proving to be quite a handful, and Molina with the sturdy challenge, reclaiming it for Argentina, and Paredes, who's just patrolling that area in front of the back four, helping to tidy up.
Yeah, he's trying to fill that pocket, isn't he? He's like any balls into the front, whether it's a Zico, whether it's a Salah, wants to make sure he cuts that direct line off to them. And if they're going to get it, it's going to be under a lot of pressure straight away.
Karim Hafez into Mohamed Hani, the Al Ahly contingent here at this World Cup. He hasn't missed a minute, Hani, this campaign so far. De Paul. Hafez into Ashur. Two draws and a win for Egypt in the group stage. First time they've gone through the group stage unbeaten at a World Cup. Looking to make the biggest step of all today. And what a big step it would be if they could find a way to get past Argentina.
Yeah, Haitham Hassan does really well. Knocks the ball around. Tagliafico then just is very clever. Just turns his run, directs it right in the path of Hassan. Doesn't allow him to get past him. Otherwise, he was around him and in behind that Argentinian defence.
What a big game for Haitham Hassan to come in first competitive start to his sixth cap. Made his debut in March. Now, what can Egypt come up with here? Marwan Atea away to the far side. Decent ball in, trying to sneak in at the far post was Yasser Ibrahim. Paredes, who came off the bench against Cabo Verde the other day, played about 35 minutes. Scaloni putting him in from the start today. Romero forward, scoops past Messi. Pass from Rodrigo de Paul towards Enzo Fernandez.
He does really well initially. You get that ball all the way, it was maybe going to go out. And it showed some real pace to keep it in. Unfortunately, his touch just lets him down.
There's Paredes again, just in that little pocket we were talking about, Mark, and Fernandez once more. Paredes goes for a little bit of a wander. This is Romero. Alvarez dropping a little bit deeper. Another good goal-scoring season for Atletico Madrid for Julian Alvarez. 20 goals at club level, 10 in the Champions League. Looking for his first at this summer's World Cup. Now, well, Molina's gone forward here. Messi's collecting. It's going to be Argentina's ball. First sighting of Lionel Messi in Egypt's penalty area.
Yeah, Rami Rabia does really well. Doesn't dive in, but keeps that real tight pressure on Messi. Any slight sort of over-touch or not able to control the ball.
This is Rodrigo de Paul now. And the flag goes up on the near side. It's right in the post anyway, but the flag went up quite quickly there as Enzo Fernandez raced in.
Well, I'm not really sure if Enzo Fernandez sees the flag go up or not. Yeah, you can see there he's a long way offside. But you still expect Fernandez just to finish it off, put it in the back of the net. Instead he just completely mistimes it.
Well, shot across the bows there, an early warning for Egypt.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, look, they kept the high line. That's the thing. They defended well on that occasion in terms of keeping that higher line. Don't allow yourself to drop too deep. Allow that space in behind, and it makes it more difficult. That's where Argentina then has to get their runs perfect in behind to beat that offside trap.
And DePaul was able to get there ahead of Karim Hafez. Touch from Alexis McAllister. So the chase over on the far side for Tagliafico.
Yeah, they're always looking to get their two fullbacks forward, aren't they? They're very proactive in making those runs on the left-hand side. I think also Paredes being back gives them that extra little bit of security.
Hafez was fouled there, referee perfectly placed to see that.
You see this for Argentina when they played Cabo Verde. They are susceptible to be hit on that counter-attack. If you beat that first press and you've got a bit of mobility, you can actually hurt Argentina. And Egypt would have been well aware of that. You can see there, that quick transition, they're looking to try and be that first break and be really quick and direct of trying to go at Argentina.
Rami Rabia. Out with Rabia again. Player based in the UAE Pro League. And by Ibrahim. Connected by Hassan. Hafez making tracks on the near side, but easy interception from Rodrigo de Paul. Here's Romero, who Tottenham fans didn't see a great deal of from February onwards. A knee injury mostly kept him out. Only a couple of appearances in the Premier League in England from February to the end of the season. Timely return to full fitness ahead of the World Cup. Alvarez sniffing around. Paredes. Fernandez. Tagliafico again, well forward far side. Same goes for Molina on the Argentina right. Paredes. This is Sandro Martinez forward. Alvarez losing it. Good feet there from Egypt's players. And Ashur down, challenged by Rodrigo de Paul. And again, referee right on the spot. Francois Letexia.
Yeah, when you play such a close sort of game, looking to try and close down, put pressure on the ball every time. The ball there just slightly out. There is a touch there. You can see that clearly. Shaw goes down the ground. That's going to happen. You don't get your timing perfectly right.
Mo Salah. Support from Hassan. He's done well, but it's a straightforward header clear. Lasheen trying to prize it open. Honey. Egypt have got their first corner of the match.
Argentina got their hands full down that left-hand side of them.
There's the FIFA General Secretary, Matthias Brafstro. Gianni Infantino elsewhere today, of course. We've got another fixture coming up a little bit afternoon. Egypt on the front foot there, trying to break the deadlock here against the defending champions from Argentina. It's a decent ball in, and they have broken the deadlock. Wow, what a start to the match. What a header. Jahseh Ibrahim, the world champions are behind, and Egypt make the breakthrough in Atlanta. Mendoza flying early here. With an Ibrahim header.
It's a fantastic ball into the box. Argentina just caught napping in the far post. Ibrahim, he's the one that attacks the ball. A fantastic ball across the face. Far post, cuts it back. They all look on side. Ibrahim's the one that reacts first and decisively. Lisandro Martinez doesn't even really put a challenge in half-heartedly, and it's a brilliant header back across the face of goal. Gives Emi Martinez absolutely no chance to react, and what a start for Egypt.
Yasser Ibrahim scoring only his second ever international goal. What a time and what a place to get him. And what a cracker of a header it was too.
Yeah, I mean, the ball from Ahmed Hani was excellent. I think it was in from the far post. Great delivery, great flight. The pace of the ball was exceptional. Gave Yasser Ibrahim every opportunity on the end of it and with force.
And Mamashur sending it into the box. A little flick aimed at Mo Salah. Egypt fancy this.
We talked about it, didn't we, before the game. The fact is that Egypt, if they are brave enough, if they take the ball, take the game to Argentina, respect them, yes, be organised, know they're up against a very, very good side. Obviously one of the best players on the planet, Lionel Messi. But don't be fearful. And they haven't shown that at all. They've taken the game to Argentina and deservedly had a chance, a big chance, and they've taken it.
Well, Argentina has scored at least 2 goals in each of the last 10 World Cup matches they've played in. They're going to need to extend that at least to 11 today if they're to prevail, because here come Egypt again. It's Salah challenged on the edge of the box. Referee says no foul. Egypt's ball. By the way, that's the first attempt on target against Argentina in the whole of the World Cup this summer. In the first half.
Yeah, it's a scary stat, isn't it? It really is. I mean, I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think that was the case. However, Egypt, they've obviously done their homework. They've come here. They're playing without fear. They know that the pressure's all on Argentina. Of course, Egypt have pressure. They have pressure within. They have pressure back home. But it's about going there and playing with freedom. And what a start. They couldn't have hoped for a better start than this one.
Well, there's some pressure on these world champions in blue and white as well now. As if there wasn't already. Long way to go.
Something that Argentina are used to, aren't they? I mean, they know what pressure is. Been there, done that before. Geez, they've made it a bit difficult for themselves in this game.
Yeah, unbeaten the last 10 matches they played at the finals. Argentina, they got a free kick and taken it a bit too quickly for the liking of the referee, François Texier. The last time Argentina lost at the World Cup, it was that opening game 4 years ago to Saudi Arabia when they were beaten 2-1. This is the first time they've been behind since then in a World Cup finals game.
At least that Saudi Arabia game, they can afford to lose that first game of the World Cup. They can't afford to lose this one.
They won't be panicking. Long way to go. We're not even 20 minutes into this one, but it's a great start for Egypt. Here's Lionel Messi, who can change the game in an instant, as we all know. And here comes Tagliafico, challenged, and Argentina have got a route back into the game immediately.
Oh, what a ball. Put a ball in behind Tagliafico. That's we said about the danger of the two fullbacks pushing forward. Tagliafico was always in the best position to win that. You can see there, Haitham Hassan, just don't think he's looking. certainly takes his eye off the runner of Tagliafico. He doesn't know he's cutting in, not aware of it. Just makes the challenge. So often we see it, players in behind, out of the sight of the player trying to defend. He just gets caught out.
The 19th penalty of this World Cup finals coming up. 14 of the previous 18 have ended up in the back of the net. Lionel Messi has missed a penalty at this World Cup. That was against Austria. He's actually missed 3 penalties in the World Cup finals, but he scored 4. Can he score an 8th goal here at this World Cup?
Yeah, I believe he missed against Austria the penalty, then scored anyway in the game, so don't think it's one that's going to worry him too much. Obviously, he's in an ideal position, and you'd expect Messi to put this away.
Can Lionel Messi score for the 9th consecutive match at the World Cup finals? No, he can't, not yet anyway. He's denied by Mustafa Shubir.
Massive moment for Egypt. Mustafa Shubir, it's a brilliant save, it really is. Purely because he doesn't go early, he waits his time and gets everything behind it.
One of the coaching staff for Egypt has just been shown a yellow card there for the referee. A flare up on the near side. Imam Ashur is the player on the ground. Wow. What a moment again, and Lionel Messi. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, Messi's just picked the spot, hasn't he? He's not even looking at the goalkeeper. He's decided he's just going to pick a spot. And Mustafa Shubir just bides his time, reads it perfectly, and it's a good save, a very good save from the goalkeeper. I think any penalty save is a very good one.
Well, Shubir had been the understudy to Mohamed El Shinawi, but just recently he's taken over as the number 1, and goalkeeping very much in his blood. He's the son of Ahmed Shubir, who kept goal at Italia 90. What a moment for him there. One to never forget.
Saving it for the big occasion. Can't get much bigger than this for Egypt at this moment in time. That is huge for Egypt.
Argentinian supporters who do greatly outnumber Egyptian fans inside the stadium, doing everything they can at this moment in time to lift their team. Heading to the midway point of the first half, it's had one or two moments so far.
Yes, it has. I mean, I have to say, from a perspective of a Messi penalty, it was underwhelming. However, it's the occasion. He's shown he's human once again. I mean, we've seen it on the odd occasion with Lionel Messi. We've seen it again on this moment. But, like I said, he missed one against Austria and then still scored in the game. They won the game. So, will he have a big impact in this game?
Just played in behind Mustafa Zico there. Conceding possession to Argentina. Run made by Alexis McAllister through the middle. Salah. Tracked by Lisandro Martinez. I'll be happy to use up a bit more time with a challenge like that from Martinez near the halfway line. We reached the hydration break in the first half here, and what a first half it's been so far. Yasser Ibrahim heading Egypt into the lead in the 15th minute of the game, and then Lionel Messi having a penalty saved by Mustafa Shubir.
হাইড্রেশন রেখে বিকাশে দেখুন বিল আসলো কত, জমাও দিন সময় মতো। বিশ্বকাপের আনন্দে মেতে ওঠো জায়েন্সি আইসক্রিমের সাথে, আর বিশ্বকাপ ট্রিটে এনজয় করো প্রতি 1 লিটার ডাবে 30 টাকা ছাড়।
এলো ইনস্ট্যান্ট মিল্ক পাউডার হ্যাপি কাউ, যেমন সাশ্রয়ী তেমনি পুষ্টিগুণে ভরপুর। আর এটা নিউজিল্যান্ডের গরুর দুধ। হ্যাপি কাউ, গরুর দুধের স্বাদ সবাই পাক।
এটা ড্যাম্পটা ধীরে ধীরে আপনার স্বাস্থ্যের ক্ষতি করছে, তাই ড্যাম্পের সাথে টক্সিক রিলেশন ভাঙতে ঘরে লাগান ভার্জিন মিস্টার এক্সপার্ট ড্যাম্প গার্ড। ড্যাম্প বলের সাথে টক্সিক রিলেশন, ড্যাম্প গার্ডই সঠিক সলিউশন।
সেন্সিটিভিটি আমার নাই, আছে হোয়াইট প্লাস প্রো সেন্সিটিভ। তাতে সেন্সিটিভিটি বলে খালি মন খুলে।
দেশ জুড়ে 45,000-এরও বেশি দোকান ও অনলাইন শপে যে কোনো কেনাকাটায় চলছে 10,000 টাকার বেশি অফার। পেমেন্ট মানেই বিকাশ।
Hit the back of the net.
Well, rather incredibly, when you think how brilliant he is as a player and how successful he is in the front of goal, Lionel Messi has failed to score with 4 of the 8 the 8 penalties he's taken over the years at the finals.
Okay, I'll redo my stat. It's 5 out of 10 times at World Cup that he'll score penalties.
So we're underway once again. Egypt with that narrow 1-goal lead, and Karim Hafez picking out Ashur. There's a confidence about the way they're playing and approaching this. You said, Mark, before the game, they need to be brave, obviously, as well as sensible in the way they approach it, and that's what we've seen so far.
A much improved performance from Egypt. They have lifted to another couple of levels in this performance so far, and that's what they've had to do because they've known they've come up against a top class side in Argentina, and at the moment Egypt are doing very, very well.
Paredes is picking up quite a few loose pieces just in front of the defence in the opening quarter of the match. Now it's with Molina, Paredes, Romero. This is Julian Alvarez. And still. Should be, as actually say, 2 penalties now this World Cup, save from Mediterranean in the match against Iran in the group stage. So developing something of a reputation in such situations. Nahuel Molina, that's a decent looking ball, and a point blank save! What a stop that was to deny Alexis McAllister, but here come Argentina again towards the ball. Imam Ashur, and it's sucked away by Karim Hafez.
On it. It's too close to the goalkeeper Shabir, and Shabir does a really good reaction save and gets rid of it in the out of the danger zone. Once again, plays a pivotal part in keeping it at 1-0 to Egypt.
Well, Vozinha of Cabo Verde had some good moments the other day.
Very busy man between now and the end of the game.
The pressure there on Alessandro Martinez. Chased by Salah and racing in, trying to get on the end of it was Mustafa Zico. Comfortable enough for Martinez. As he sends it on its way, there's an urgency about Argentina here, as you'd expect. Lovely pass from Messi. Now the chance to advance with Enzo Fernandez picking out De Paul. First time ball, trying to find McAllister. Martinez, McAllister. But he turned into the defender, to Armaroundyou there. And it will be a free kick for Argentina.
It just gets too close to McAllister there. Needs to just give himself a little bit of room. You don't want to be given free kicks away in these central areas for Argentina. That's that discipline element to it. I know there's going to be moments in the game. This is that ball from the ball. Great ball. McAllister. You would feel that he has to get it more directed in the corner. Anywhere near the goalkeeper, you give him a chance. Mustafa Shabir, obviously, very good reactive save.
And McAllister has been in a number of very, very advanced positions through the middle already in this game. It's the closest Argentina have come to scoring from open play. The ball is at Messi's feet, and it was very nearly in Egypt's net.
I wonder if that just come off the post. That is very, very close. I don't know if Mustafa Shabir just felt that it was going wide. But in the end, obviously, it goes wide enough. Messi's free kick, he curls it around the wall.
It was absolutely superb. That's how close it was.
I mean, he has it covered, Mustafa Shabir, but I think it's just a little bit too close for comfort.
Hafez. Zico challenging, losing out to Romero, ball's out of play.
With that sort of free kicks, if you're allowing or sort of believing the ball's going wide, it hits the post, anything can happen. Depending on where it hits the post, could it easily come back out? Could it even hit the goalkeeper and gone in? It's a bit risky.
I think Egypt will have taken a lot of encouragement from what they saw in the Cabo Verde match.
Absolutely. They would have reviewed that game, known that Cabo Verde played without fear, were able to absorb pressure. They knew that. They knew there'd be times where they're going to have to dig deep. But also, when they do get the ball, the best way to relieve that pressure is retain it. Find your outs. Egypt are set up well for it as well. With Salah up front, with Zico up front. They've got the ability to break quickly.
Mustafa Zico chasing Lisandro Martinez there first. Martinez had a terrific game, didn't he, the other night? With that pass for Messi for their first goal, and then tucking away the second himself.
I mean, going forward, he was instrumental. He played a big part. As an essential centre-half, he was so vital in Argentina's progression into this stage of the competition because of his contribution to all the goals. So that was huge. Defensively today, they're the questions that have been asked of not only Lisandro Martinez, but also Romero, who at the moment haven't been great.
Free kick conceded, the challenge by Mohamed Lashin. Well, it's 20 years now since Argentina conceded first in the World Cup and came back to win the match, round of 16 against Mexico. Came back to win by 2-1 in that one. Esteban Cambiasso among those watching on. Javier Zanetti on the left of your picture as well, a great for Inter as well as Argentina. Tavor can't get the better of Karim Hafez. Very positive and purposeful from Egypt here in this first half. Against one of the big favourites for the World Cup. Haitham Hassan, the player who conceded the penalty kick. A little bit of space here for Salah. Hafez, he's got Imam Ashur alongside and now in possession. Ashur trying to find a little bit of space, but smothered. That was Romero. Messi out hustles and then a little wayward off the boot of Karim Hafez. But this is it. They seem very prepared to go toe-to-toe here with Argentina.
They do, and you can see there with Romero, he's renowned for coming off his line, trying to win the ball in more of an aggressive sort of nature. Does it really, really well. Unfortunately, Messi just gets caught out a little bit, unaware of, I felt, Hafez behind him. And Hafez just wastes the opportunity. Romero out of position, had an opportunity to try and go at Argentina in that instance. Instead, he elects to go for that wild shot.
Paredes taking over. Got 10 minutes to go to half-time, plus any additional time. Tagliafico. Fernandez. McAllister. Here's Messi. Neat and tidy as always. Doesn't need a lot of room, does he? But sheer weight of numbers gets the job done for Egypt.
You can see also Egypt overloading that middle of the park. They know that Argentina is one of their strengths, the way they want to play football is those little intricate little 1-2s, movement in that sort of pocket areas between the two lines. But Egypt have got a lot of players in there. They're trying to smother that.
Alexis McAllister picking out Messi, Rodrigo de Paul, Leandro Paredes. Argentina patient in trying to figure out how to pick the lock here of this stubborn Egyptian resolve. Room for Paredes. Space for Enzo Fernandez. The run made by Messi, clearance by Ashur. Small Salah underneath it, he's rather on his own. Salah, of course, been very familiar with the players he's up against today at the heart of the Argentina defence with Lisandro Martinez, Manchester United player, and Cristiano Romero at Tottenham Hotspur in recent years. Ashur. Romero's interception. Martinez. Messi. De Paul. A little bit loose and conceding possession, and Messi will look to try to take advantage.
He does well, really well initially. Messi to read the play, win the ball back. And his shot is just very wayward.
Diego Simeone has put his jersey back on and come to the stadium today. We saw him in Miami the other day, former international. Of course, he's had so much success at in the manager's chair, the head coach's chair at Atletico Madrid. Key moments of the game so far.
We did see him go through all the emotions as well in Miami. Typical of Diego Simeone on the touchline. We see him for Atletico Madrid. We saw him in the stands in the box, going through all those emotions.
Yeah, former World Cup player with Argentina as well, of course, Diego Simeone. Lisandro Martinez, now Enzo Fernandez. De Paul. Now, well, Molina had made a run on the near side, and he keeps doing that, and they're not picking him out. But here comes Tagliafico, trying to tee it up for Alvarez, but a sensational save again by Mustafa Shubir. Super stop.
Oh, that is world class. I mean, everything about that was world class. The move was exceptional. The ball across Tagliafico, his touch inside. Alvarez's strike on goal, and the goalkeeper Mustafa Shubir, what a save. That is the best save of the game so far, by a long way. That is brilliant.
What a strong left hand, A to get there and B to keep it out.
Oh, it's just perfect. Everything about it was perfect. The goalkeeper made an exceptional save.
Well, Julian Alvarez can't quite believe it, neither can Tagliafico. That was excellent play from the left back.
Oh, it was a brilliant ball in the first place. The diag was exceptional. Tagliafico's run down the left-hand side was perfectly timed. He's one-touch cross into Julian Alvarez. I think Alvarez turned up much differently. Good strike on goal. The goalkeeper, Xavier, shot again. Back on his feet, ready to continue. Ashur and Alexis McAllister not getting along terribly well at the moment, which has been noted by our French referee. Messi to try and conjure up something here. Decent delivery. And it just sails away. Tagliafico getting involved again.
Yeah, Alvarez is the one that flicks on in that near post area. Almost works. Got a little bit too much on it.
As indeed there was of Xavier there with that ball down the near side. This is Christian Romero. 55th camp for him today. Paredes. Who's looked assured there in his central defensive midfield role in this opening 45 minutes. Nahuel Molina plays for Diego Simeone at Atleti in Spain. Quite a few Atleti connections here. Simeone to keep an eye on about half of his squad here with Argentina. De Boer into Paredes, just dropping into a little bit of space here. Enzo Fernandez, Tagliafico trying to snag it in. So 7 attempts so far from Argentina, 3 on target, 1 on target for Egypt. All importantly, it was the one that ended up nestling in the back of the net. Argentina looking for a strong finish to this first half. Alvarez tries to provide it, only half cleared. Still they try and probe and pick their way through the massed ranks of Egypt's defence, and on this occasion it doesn't happen.
Yeah, well hustled once again by Egypt. Bodies around the ball, not allowing any sort of freedom. It's tough against an Argentina side that move the ball so quickly. One-touch football. Moving off the ball, difficult to contain, but Egypt at the moment have done well. As a team, defended very well. And they've been able to get a chance, Argentina. It's the goalkeeper, Xavier, who's been brilliant.
Hassan there, the head coach of Egypt. He's their national record goal scorer. Oh, what about that from Mo Salah? Lovely bit of skills, brought to an end by Liverpool colleague of the last few years, Alexis McAllister. It's a reminder of his class there, Mo Salah. Ashur into Salah. Paredes retrieving it for Argentina.